Hey y'all, good evening. Welcome to my channel. My name is Adina. If you are not familiar with me by now, but you should be because you clicked on my channel, thank you guys for joining me tonight. This is going to be a pop-up reading. This isn't a cold case or missing persons or anything like that. This just dropped into my lap last night actually. A friend of mine um, that lives in Jamaica, shout out Akiva, sent me a link last night. And hold on, y'all. He sent me a link last night, and this link was a Fox News article about possible upcoming lockdowns due to climate control. As a matter of fact, let me cite my source. The future of lockdowns. Brace yourselves. Climate lockdowns are coming. So when he sent this link to me last night, I actually wasn't. I had some other stuff on my mind, so I really couldn't pay full attention to it. However, I did click on it and I watched it. It had Joe Biden on there. Let me just uh, refresh my memory on the actual article.
More now about the sad toll of the corona lockdowns in this country. According to Joe Biden, though, we could get another round of lockdowns. These for a crisis that's every bit as bad as the coronavirus, maybe worse. That crisis, of course, says Joe Biden, is climate change.
Today, I'm pleased to announce a team that will lead my administration's ambitious plan to address the existential threat of our time, climate change. Folks, we're in a crisis. Just like we need to be a unified nation in response to COVID-19, we need a unified national response to climate change. And from this crisis,
I'm going to stop it there because I can barely stand to stomach that. So I mentioned to you guys in the reading that I did on Naftali Bennett, the new Prime Minister of Israel, that I don't like to watch the news. If I engage the news, I read it in an article because some of the techniques that they use in order to influence your mind or in order to invoke or provoke you, um, I'm very sensitive to those. So I don't watch the news because I don't like people trying to play with my mind or play on my emotions. And that's exactly what I saw in there. You know, when I watched it, I know I responded and I was just kind of like, what a joke. I actually said I've never seen a more obvious puppet. I'm interested in knowing who his handlers are. Now, if you aren't familiar with me, you're about to get familiar with me. I am not um, a part of any political affiliation. As a Libra, I am about justice, and I don't find justice in politics. I find manipulation and circus acts in politics. And so I like to think for myself, so I don't like to align myself with any political party. So if ever at any time you see me do a reading and I am speaking about a politician, please don't take it as if I'm endorsing their opponent or their alternative on the other side, or that I have any political agenda behind these videos, because I don't. I pay attention to these things because they matter to the greater good. They matter to us, the people. And as I said, I'm on the side of justice, and I don't see justice in politics, at least not as they stand now. So when I saw that, I thought, well, for one, this man was made president because he is easily controlled and he is willing to follow the agenda that is laid out for him. So I don't believe for one second that Joe Biden is president because he makes a great leader. I think he's president because of the opposite reasons. Now, I know that a lot of you guys were pro Joe because you were anti Trump. However, there are some things that I want to address about Donald Trump, and I want you guys to keep in mind my what I said at the beginning of my videos about not endorsing any politician. These are just things that I need to speak on as spirit and discernment brings me to speak on them. So most people were anti-Trump because they were told to be anti-Trump. The medium, meaning something that connects, something that channels, just like television, media, channel, okay? Media and channels. So the media is just a channel of information. That doesn't necessarily mean that the information is true or false. However, it is High Priestess card. It is a way for the people who own the media to channel information to the general public. And the people who own the media are not righteous people. They're not they're not they're not all people that we can trust. And so that's another reason why I don't watch a lot of television. Not just the news, I don't really watch television, period. So back to the point at hand. I came here today to discuss this idea of a climate lockdown. I don't know, because I don't keep up with TV or the news, how much of a big deal this is. However, when I saw it, the first thing that came to my mind was Bill Gates. Bill fucking Gates. And as I lay in bed last night, and this was about 30 to 45 minutes after I actually glanced at that news clip, all this information just started flooding into my third eye. And so I was messaging my friend who sent me the link because he's a priest. He's a Obeah priest. And I was telling him what I saw. He sent me the link and he didn't say anything about it. He just sent it to me. And so I responded with what I saw. So let me tell you guys something. In that video that I did about Naftali Bennett, I hope you guys can hear me with this airplane flying over. Just give me a second. I live by an airport. In the video that I did about Naftali Bennett, I said that this man became prime minister with a lot of thanks to a bunch of technology backers, wealthy technology backers. I remember the name Jeff Bezos came to mind. But I also mentioned that tech companies and the wealthy and powerful men and women who run these tech companies are the future, and they are creating the future. So COVID And this is not opinion. This is, let me try to get better lighting. Excuse me, guys, for this brief interruption. COVID had a lot to do with um, the creation of this new future. Yes, it may have been a very real virus, but it was only as real as it was created to be. So it wasn't a natural virus. It was something that was created and it was released for a reason. The lockdowns were for a reason. And the person behind COVID is Bill Gates. He had an agenda and an interest in the creation and the release of COVID on the population. Let me just say, because that video that I showed you guys, even though it had Joe Biden in it, trust and believe that behind Joe Biden, there is a Bill Gates. And I know you guys don't want to hear this because you guys were influenced to believe and think a certain way about Donald Trump, and in no way am I caping for him or coming to his rescue about anything. But hold on. Hold on, guys. I'm going to have a brief interruption. Sorry about that, you guys. But you guys were influenced to um, be anti-Trump because of the war that is going on behind the scenes. And trust me, it is a war going on behind the scenes with the powers that be. One moment. I'm going to move so that we can have better lighting. All right. I think that's a little better. Sorry for all the interruptions, but like I said, this is very impromptu pop-up reading. I was actually not going to do it because I was in my bed, but something said get up and do it. So, as I was saying, the media played a lot in how you guys thought and felt. And I'm not saying that you guys are followers and that you can't come to your own conclusions. However, between social media, between TV, and all the other media that came together as a concerted effort to influence the way you guys felt about a president, you have to ask yourself, since when did you guys start trusting and agreeing the system? And if the system is if the system is telling you hate this person, me personally, what I did was I said, hold on, because I had never seen the powers that be band together in such a way as to influence people, the general population, to hate their president. The jokes and the lack of respect, and I'm not saying that he should have had it. You guys just understand what I'm getting at if you can take your political emotions out of it. The lack of respect, I've never seen that for any president. And we have had many crooked ass bad presidents, but never have you or anyone been allowed to get away with the slander. Never have we seen the people encouraged to slander a commander-in-chief of America. I've never seen it before, and I don't think it's been done in history. And like I said, even George W. Bush was responsible or was in office for 9/11. However, no one was allowed to band together to mock this man or anything of the sort. He is still in good standing today. You see him all hugged up on Michelle Obama all the time. So I want you guys to think about that and think about why they wanted you or why it was so okay to want to get this man out of office. What was going on behind the scenes that the powers that be also wanted him out of office and wanted you guys to want him out of office? Regardless of what he said and the comments that he made, you think the powers that be cared about him being racist? You think a racist system, a racist ass America cares about a racist president? They wanted you to care about things that he was saying, and they wanted you to be reminded of the fact that he was racist and he was all of these things to inflame your emotions so that when they came and put somebody else unqualified and basically half sleeping, half dead into office, you guys would accept whatever they took as long as it wasn't Donald Trump. And let me tell you why they didn't like Donald Trump. Is because he waged war against the shadow government. That's what he did. Um, if you care about America as a patriot, and I'm not a patriot. I am here because my ancestors were brought here. So that is what it is. However, if you're one of the people who pledge allegiance to the flag and you are very much patriotic, then Donald Trump was trying to, I've heard the term before, drain the swamp. That's exactly what he was doing. He was waging war against a lot of shadow government, and he was trying to topple the system that actually runs America. Not the one that, not the one that you see, but the ones we all discern. When we say things like the system is rigged and you can't trust politicians and all that stuff, well, those were the people that he was working against. These people are responsible for a lot of atrocious things that the general public have no idea about. And the things that are being exposed about these people in high position, it's really happening. And a lot of that is due to some of the things that Donald Trump did. I know you hate to hear it, but it needs to be said. It needs to be said. And now that he is out of office, they have someone back into office who is going to do their bidding. That term, build back better, that I keep hearing, it was even said in that clip that I showed you guys, that has nothing to do with, oh, we're going to, rebuild America. That has everything to do with a message to the powers that be who Donald Trump was trying to drain out. They're saying we're going to rebuild our system again and we're going to do it better and we're going to regain control of these people. And COVID was their way of fighting back against Donald Trump and the things that he was doing to them. And when Donald Trump got COVID, that was supposed to kill him. I actually, I believe that was an attempt on his life. And he knows it was. He knows it was. So I'm not saying that he's the great white hope. I'm not saying that he came to save the day. However, what I'm saying is he waged war against some of the people that, if we are all privy to the things that they've done for hundreds of years, we would have worked with him. However, what is going on now behind the scenes is a war for control. And now the people that Donald Trump was trying to indict, because a lot of their asses got indicted during COVID, during that lockdown, a lot of their asses got indicted. All those CEOs that stepped down from companies and things like that, you know, that is not a coincidence. These people were involved in a lot of things that we, as the general public, would think are atrocious. These are people that should be charged with crimes against humanity. And I believe that that is what Donald Trump was trying to do. However, he had to start small, and starting small would be chopping down their money making avenues, their ways of generating income. And one of the big things of that was human trafficking, which is why you saw Epstein be exposed the way he did, because that is one of the ways that they were able to make money to stay in power. It wasn't even really their companies that was generating most of the money. The companies were a front for the illegal activities that they were doing. So once Donald Trump started trying to put blocks on their money by breaking down their trafficking rings and their drug smuggling rings, these people had to step down from their businesses. For one, because they were indicted. These people were secretly indicted or secretly about to be indicted, or their flow of income had been blocked. So you saw businesses shutting down, but it wasn't because of COVID. It was because the real money that kept these businesses afloat had been cut off. And they had to get Donald Trump the fuck out of there. And they needed you to do it. They needed you to be behind it. If someone had have killed Donald Trump, all of you would have rejoiced and no one would have asked any questions. Okay, so I want to talk to you guys about a psychopath. A psychopath of a whole different proportion, and that is Bill fucking Gates. He has an inherited God complex, and I say inherited because his father also had the same God complex. Population control and eugenics, meaning making viruses and then unleashing them on populations of people in order to kill them off. A psychopath. A psychopath. You guys, after I watched that clip and I said, I lay in bed and then all this information start filtering through my third eye. You know what I saw? I saw this man on a rampage. I saw this man enraged. In fucking raged. Because Donald Trump and those that were working with him had the audacity to try to come for him and try to find a way to charge him with crimes against humanity, because that is the goal. And all the lower level that you saw, the lower level people that you saw being exposed, and no matter how high up you think they are, they're lower level on the real food chain. Those were his smaller cohorts. So they were plucking off the low-hanging fruit one by one so that they can topple the whole tree. And up at the top, Bill fucking Gates. Not saying he's the most powerful man in the world, but that was Donald Trump's goal, was to get Bill Gates and to stop him from what he was doing and what he planned to do. And you know what he plans to do? Blot out the fucking sun. When he gets upset, when he gets enraged, he takes his anger out on humanity. And so right now he's enraged because a lot of his plans have been blocked, monkey wrench thrown in them. And COVID was supposed to do a lot more damage than it did. You guys saw Donald Trump pressing for people to not wear masks and to hurry up and go back outside. It's because one of the best things to build up your immune system, one of the best healers, is nature, is the sun. It's the fucking sun. It's outside. It's fresh air. It's nature. That is the best healer that God gave us. And by keeping us indoors, away from nature, and infecting us with a virus that attacks your immune system, how would we be able to fight off this virus if we are not exposed to the elements, the sun? If we're stuck in the house and we have masks over our face, most of the time we go outside so that we can't breathe in fresh fucking air. We are continuously breathing in what we breathed out. So whatever toxins you have in and you breathe it out, you're breathing it back in through the mask. So that was a way to kill us. It was a way to kill us. That virus and keeping us in was a way to kill us and keeping us from being able to heal by being out fucking side in the sun and in the fresh air. So you know what happened when that didn't work? Bill Gates said, all right, you want to let people go back outside and I'm trying to kill their asses off. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to pollute the air that they breathe. And I'm going to try to mask the sun. This is what I hear him saying. This is what I hear him wanting to do. So there's something that he's working on that if they spread in the sky, it can in some way block the sun. They're trying to block the sun. They're trying to pollute. And I'm not saying block it. I'm saying block it, but it's something that they can do with a pollutant. And it all ties into climate control. Because it's what they're putting out there that is changing the climate. It ain't you. And no matter how you try to cut back your carbon footprint, we are not the main culprit of the climate changing. They are. And they're doing it on purpose in order to control the population. We need the sun. The earth needs the sun. We need the sun. We need fresh air. We need the trees. We need vegetation. You see them buying up all the farmland? They will control us one way or another. They'll poison our food. They'll poison our air. They'll poison our blood with vaccines. They are creating the poison and then labeling more poison as a cure. And if you think you're going to get out of vaccines, you still got to eat, and they're going to poison the food. And if you try to grow your own food, they're going to pollute the air. And they're going to try to manipulate the sun. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I have discernment. So Bill Gates is on a rampage because the only way that Trump was able to really nick him was get him for human trafficking along with Epstein. And that is why you see him and his wife getting a divorce. For one, it's to save the money. Warren Buffett stepping down from their foundation, but donating $4.1 billion to the foundation, or foundations that are all affiliated with each other. These people are all affiliated with each other, and their foundations are all affiliated with each other. These foundations are not here as philanthropic endeavors. This is like money laundering. They are trying to hide and save money. Bill Gates and his wife, they are a partnership. It has nothing to do with cheating. It has nothing to do with sex. That's for the sheep to them, and we are the sheep. They are above that. They work together for a greater good and a greater goal. And they all have a God complex. And we are all their sheep. So when that happened with Trump, and when they saw that the people were catching on to all these exposés, and we are learning more about the things that they do behind the scene, Bill Gates said, okay, I am going to find a way to kill their asses even quicker than what COVID could do. So if you see people talking about another lockdown due to climate control, just know that while we're locked down, they are going to be controlling the climate, all right, but in a way so that we can't heal from the elements. We can't heal from the sun and from nature. I keep hearing, I will blot out the sun. I will blot out the sun. Only someone who has a God complex would say something like that or think that way. So the war that is going on behind the scenes is against it's like a war of the worlds, a battle of gods, the good and the evil. And the evil would be the ones who want to control the population and control us in a brutal way. Because at the end of the day, most of them, politics in itself, government is about controlling people, governing people. However, there are some people who do it from a place of keeping order in the world. And then there are some people who do it by way of, or for the purpose of, keeping order by killing off the sheep. Those would be the ones who are evil, because they feel like the earth belongs to them. And we are just the cattle to be herded around, slaughtered when they need something from us, when they need energy or melanin or adrenochrome or whatever other purposes they have for siphoning things from out of our bodies. That's what they need us for. Just like we slaughter cattle in order to eat it, beef, steak, pork, that's what they see us as. Because all of this stuff gives us energy when we consume it. Well, that's what we are to them. And I need you to understand this, not from a political level, because it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. So I'm going to read Bill Gates, not Donald Trump, not Joe Biden. Because honestly, you guys, Biden is a puppet. And I mean a sock puppet, one of the ones that you stick your hand in and you manipulate. That's what he is. And he knows it, and that's what he signed up for. He doesn't care. To be honest, I think Kamala, is that her name? Kamala? She has more clout than Biden because of her ancestry. hmm She has more clout than Biden, which is why she's playing the background role, because the real power is always in the back, not the forefront. The forefront is the court jester. That's the one that is there to entertain the people and distract the people, while the real powers that be work behind the scenes. So she's got more clout, she's got more juice, and she's got more power than he does, and it's because of her ancestry. It's because of what is in her blood, who her ancestors are, what her lineage is, and the power that they hold. Spiritual power, energetic power. When I think of her, I think of a high priestess. She's what Hillary wished she was. You know, Hillary had to get her power by siphoning it. That's why she spent so much time in Haiti doing rituals on children, trafficking children, melanated children, siphoning power, siphoning energy. Because we all know melanated beings hold a lot more power in our blood, in our genetic makeup, in our melanin. So it wasn't about sex with those children. They were taking things from them, from their bodies, in order to maintain power. Hillary's ass, you know, like a lot of, I'm sorry, white people, y'all, not sorry, but sorry. You weren't born with it. We're not the same. It's not about, you know, we're all different colors, but we're the same. No, the fuck we're not. And you know we're not. White supremacy, that should tell you that we're not the same. That comes from a place of hatred and envy. The same hatred and envy that was around in the days of Egypt and all the other ancient African great civilizations came and killed us, and then took our knowledge in order to try to find a way to tap into our power. But they realized that it didn't just lie in our texts and reading our books. You can read our books and then, you know, practice the things that we laid out for you guys to practice, but you guys can only harness so much of that power. They realize that these people hold the real power in their blood, in their melanin, in their DNA. And so killing them isn't enough. We need to kill them and drink their blood. We need to kill them and steal the chemicals that run in their body. Then you can experience that power. Why y'all think Meghan Markle was allowed in the royal family? Their asses are dying out, and they needed that little drop of melanin in order to continue. And now that they have those babies, they really don't have no use for her ass anymore. That's why she ran over here to the U.S. I see you, Meghan. Okay. Bill Gates. Bill Gates. Are you the mastermind behind the idea of a climate control lockdown? Let's start there. And y'all, I'm doing this with the cards for you guys because everything I just told you, it wasn't something I read anywhere. It's not a conspiracy theory. I'm telling you what I see from here. I don't read the news. I mean, I'll read an article or two, but I don't keep up with that shit like most people do. But I still know. And the reason why I know you guys so well, and I'm going to just let y'all in on a little astrological tip, is because Libras have the ability to be just as diabolical. I know how you guys think. Air signs rule the world of psychology for a reason. We know how to be mentally manipulative. We know how to be manipulative with our words, which is why Libra is the scales, the sign of justice, politics. A good politician will be a Libra. A good lawyer will be a Libra. A good psychologist would be a Libra or a Gemini. Because depending on where you fall with your light side and where your shadow side, if you're more on your shadow side, then you'll be like them. And I understand how they think. Fortunately, I'm more balanced. I know my shadow side, which is why I say I know how a psychopath thinks. However, I can embrace my shadow without being my shadow. So this is why I know you guys so well, powers that be. It's because I know how you think. And if I wanted to be like you, you all will welcome me with open arms because you know I'm fucking right. I know how you think. Bill Gates, are you behind the idea of a climate control lockdown? Ace of Swords in reverse. I just told y'all about air signs. This is Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Upright, this card would be, let me gather information. Upright, this would be, upright, this would be gathering information or brainstorming ideas. In reverse, it's the same thing, but I'm going to say that because this card is reversed, it is using that research and the brainstorming and research and development for nefarious purposes. And I also say that because on the bottom is the Two of Wands, making plans, doing research, secret research, and using this mental stimulation for underhanded activities. Lying also. Lying. Making plans. Look, he even has the world in his hands. This is Bill Gates, y'all. This is Bill fucking Gates with the world in his hands and his God complex, just looking out over the world like, look at that climate control. He's controlling the climate because it's in his hands. And I'm going to clarify anyways because y'all need it. Y'all need to see it in the cards and not just take my word for it. Ace of Wands, a new opportunity. King of Pentacles in reverse. hiding money, and greed, because this is also greed. The King of Pentacles upright, he is just with his money. He's a provider. Reverse, greed. Reverse, Swords, heartbreak. So you know what? This is about the divorce. This is about the divorce. But it's an opportunity for greed to hide his money so that he can hold on to his money. The Fool in reverse. A fool and his money. What is that quote? A fool and his money will soon depart. A fool and his money will soon depart. Something like that. Told y'all I was right without the cards. Okay. Ten of Wands in reverse. This is them unloading burdens and responsibilities. So businesses, splitting up assets. This is delegating responsibilities. This just fell out on the ground. Delegating responsibilities. Shit. So I was about to show you guys. Hold on. Y'all, my cards just flew all the way out of my hand. I was about to show you guys the Lover's card because I wanted to tell you guys that was the reason for him and his wife. They aren't splitting up because of, what they say that they're splitting up for. It's an opportunity for him to delegate responsibilities, because I had that Ten of Wands in reverse and then the Lovers was on the bottom. Delegating. That's what the Ten of Wands in reverse is. Delegating responsibilities, because upright, the card would mean that you are getting overwhelmed with your responsibilities and you need some help from bearing all the burden. So in reverse, it would mean delegating responsibilities, delegating some of that burden. Having his wife take some of this. Warren, you step down and you do this, and this, and this, and this. Queen of Cups. This is his wife. And you know what else this is? I want to say that it's poison because it's a water card. Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. But it's more Pisces to me only because Neptune just went retrograde yesterday, I think. And when I looked at my natal chart, my sun, my transiting sun, was opposing my natal Neptune. Or Neptune was opposing my natal sun, which means, or when I looked at it yesterday, I thought, this bitch is trying to poison the sun using some kind of chemical. That's why I kept hearing, I will blot out the sun. It's almost like, who do they think they are? I will blot out the sun before I lose power. I'll kill the whole world before I lose power. Using chemicals, poison, vaccines, viruses, all of that is Neptune. All of that falls under Neptune. All of that falls under Neptune. Drugs, vaccine, chemicals, poison, all of that falls under Neptune. Neptune just went retrograde yesterday. So when I saw that clip that I showed you guys, that I said my friend messaged me, first thing out of my mind was, who is his handlers? Who is Joe Biden's handlers? And then I saw Bill Gates in my mind. I saw him in my mind. And I saw him on a rampage, angry. I even let me tell you guys what I said in my message. I told him that I would do a reading on the matter today. I told him that Trump was attempting to block their endeavors. He was trying to dismantle their cabal, hence the phrase building back better. I kept hearing Bill Gates on a rampage in my mind. He's a raging lunatic with a God complex. But I said, why is he so angry right now? Because in my mind, I could see him pacing, angry, face all red. But you know what? The people who know Bill Gates, this is the Bill Gates that they know. His inner circle, they know that he is out of his fucking mind. If his dad was bad, he takes it to a whole nother level. I don't care what front he puts on when he's in front of the cameras, smiling with babies and all of that shit. The man is a lunatic, and he is very often angry with the world, with people. He hates people, especially poor people. He hates poor people. He sees no use for us other than the fact that we are here, using up all of the earth's resources. And when I said, why is he so angry right now? I said, oh, wait, Trump was trying to have him indicted in regards to the Epstein scandal, but that wasn't what he was really after them for. Crimes against humanity is what Trump wanted. But he couldn't quite get them on that. He was trying to stay in office in order to continue to pluck off the lower hanging fruit and gather evidence. Okay. I don't know what I want to ask my cards, guys, because I just gave y'all the tea. The idea of a climate lockdown, is it in order for them to continue to poison the environment, poison the climate, poison the earth, so that when we are out of lockdown, coming back out still will be no use for us? Fuck it. Is climate control through the eyes of Bill Gates his way of controlling the population? Ace of Swords reversed. I'm going to take this as, I know it's in reverse, and most people see it as a no when the Ace of Swords in reverse, but I still feel like it's a yes, although to me it's a lie. And the King of Cups is on the bottom. I wonder what Bill Gates' sign is. However, it doesn't matter. Just like I said with the Queen of Cups, and now I got the King of Cups. Neptune, Pisces, Neptune, Pisces, Pisces, Neptune, Pisces. That's what it's all about. This hand coming out of the sky is considered a hand of the divine. I said he had a God complex. But upright, this card would be righteous. Upright swords are always truthful and righteous. In reverse, lies and deceit and manipulation. He is the king of Neptune, the king of poison. Magician in reverse, Eight of Pentacles in reverse, Page of Cups in reverse, all next to the King of Cups. Magician in reverse, lies, deceit, manipulation, somebody that is diabolical, pathological, with secret dealings in money. The Page of Cups is a Pisces card, and it was right next to the King of Cups. Poisoning children, poisoning people. The King of Poison. That's what he is. That's Bill Gates' new nickname, the King of Poison. I should call him the King of Neptune, but not the good aspects of Neptune. That would be music and transcendence and spirituality. And he feels like he will be victorious despite the obstacles that he had to face in the Five of Wands during the Trump administration, 45. Because before you can get to the Six of Wands, which is victory, you got to go through the Five of Wands, which is strife and battle, competition. So he feels like he is successful because Trump is out of office. 45 is out of office. Even despite the indictment, success. Because look what he was able to do with COVID. All right. At this point, I'm not asking questions anymore. I'm just going to flip cards. You know, Bill Gates and all of your friends, Jeff Bezos, your name has been in my mind for a few weeks. Your name was in my mind when I did Naftali Bennett. I think I want to look into you too. I may look into you next because your name has been popping up in my mind. All of y'all should book a reading with me so I can tell you how bad this is going to turn out for you in the end. Because one thing that you can't do is think that you can manipulate the sun and God's law, natural law, and not be tried for it. You might get away with, you might get away with things in the court of man's law, but you guys' desperation for world domination and control is going to backfire on you, because I know that the demons that you guys come from, that run in your family, the ancient beings that sit behind the shadows that we'll never know exist. Even if they tell us that aliens exist, we'll never know. The people who are your relatives that are really running this earth and that are really calling the shots for you guys are telling you that you have a chance at defeating God, because this is not just, as above, so below. So if this war is playing out here, it's playing out there too. And it's a matter of, it's a spiritual war at the root of it. It just plays out and manifests in the material realm too, because as above, so below. That's why we have ancestors. Your ancestors, though, are not human like us. They're not made up like us. And actually, the sun, you hate the sun because the sun hates you back. What happens if you guys sit out in the sun for too long? You get burned. What happens if I sit out in the sun for too long? I get better. That's why you hate the sun, because it hates you back, because you're not human. She right though. Okay. I'm just going to pull one more card for a closing remark. And if any of you guys watching this have any questions, feel free to contact my email. If you have questions that I didn't tap into, or if I said anything that provoked any questions in you, contact me. I'll do another reading. One more card. One more card as a closing remark about Bill fucking Gates. That's Bill F. Baby. And the F stands for fucking. Bill fucking Gates. Oh, we got another. We got two cards that fell out. Queen of Swords and the Hermit. I almost feel like those were messages for me. Ace of Pentacles. These are messages for me. Those were messages for me. Those were for me. It was almost like I told you so, because like I said, I wasn't going to do this reading. I was in my bed. But I did get a message in my mind here, which is why I got up and did it. And those cards that just fell out were for me. Bill fucking Gates. Three of Pentacles in reverse. This is the Cabal. This is the Cabal. A team of people in a temple working together towards a common goal. However, it's in reverse. So, for one, it's a secret society. And I don't mean Illuminati, because this is bigger than that. They let you guys play with the idea of Illuminati to make you think that you guys were on to something, that you knew something, to make you guys feel, it's almost like give them this so that they won't come sniffing around this. This Cabal, though, is deeper. It's ancient. It goes back to the beginning of humanity. It goes back to goals that were set up in biblical times. A lot of the things that you read about in the New Testament, in the book of Revelations, the reason why it seems so prophetic is because these were plans laid out for hundreds and centuries, hundreds of years and centuries, which is why bloodlines are so important. That was that card. I should have clarified it. I'm sure I would have came up with the Ten of Pentacles as well. Ancestry and bloodlines and secret societies, secret cabals working together underneath the table, shadow governments, the powers that be. But it's in reverse because you guys, your plans are, it's not in reverse because your plans are falling apart. It's in reverse because you guys are a secret. However, Trump threw a monkey wrench in you guys' plans, and that's why you guys had to get him out of there. And I'm going to say Donald Trump, I know these people probably will never see these videos, and maybe they will, just because I've received some interesting threats, emails, and things like that when I did the Sanaya Dennis video on sex trafficking, human trafficking. Some police affiliates were really not pleased with me calling them out. And I also got a message from a woman who contacted me to let me know that, and this is a woman that was in Buffalo, New York, that I've never met. She reached out to me to let me know that what I was saying was absolutely correct. She was from the area, and to be careful and protect myself because I would be on their radar because what I said was true. So I don't know, maybe they might see this. Donald Trump, you in trouble. And you know you in trouble. You know that you catching COVID was an attempt on your life. But you got friends. You got friends who can protect you. But I'm going to say that whatever you started doing, it's almost like killing you now wouldn't solve anything because you've already got the ball rolling. And it's out of your hands now. It's bigger than you. So you accomplished that, but they still may try to kill you. Because I see you hiding out somewhere in another country. You guys, don't be surprised if Donald Trump moves to another country or ends up spending a lot of time in another country. It's going to be because he knows that his life is in danger. All right, you guys, I'm going to just wrap it up for tonight. Thank you guys for watching, and good night.